I have a fabulous card that could be used either for a wedding or an anniversary, whatever you like. There's a lot going on with this one. We're going to break it down into steps and show you just how easy it is to put together, okay? We'll show you what we're going to be using. Grab all of our guys here. I'll start with this. We have the passion flower, which is the stamp that matches the die called the passion flower. We're going to be using that. We're going to do a little bit of inking around our card with this swirl. It's called the Elemental Swirls from our singles collection. We are also going to be using the Heartstrings embossing folder, and I'm going to show you how to extend that. Okay. The Champagne Flute with the I Do is going to be in the card all over the place, so we've got that a couple of times. And the Heather die we're going to use as a background for our floral element. And I've got the Happy Easter egg right here, but we're only going to be using that little bow right there because it looks really cute on the champagne flutes. And the passion flower to cut out the stamps of the same name. Okay, so first thing I'm going to start with is the embossing. So I've got a piece of card here that is 6 1/3 by 5 inches. So what I want to do, because this heartstrings goes this way, I kind of want the card to go this way. So we're going to do a bit of it and then move it along. Now it's not a perfect match, but we will get it to match up as best we can. And there's so much going on this card too. I don't think it's going to be a real issue. So we're going to pop this down and bring in our tan mat and our white adapter plate. Okay, so what I want to do is lay that down. I'm going to put the tan mat so it just falls short of the end of that. Okay, same thing with the white adapter, and that will hopefully help keep from getting a real strong line down the center. There we go. So we'll do that first section. Bring that back over, and then what I want to do is pick this up and see if we can sort out that same pattern. I think it is an exact, yes it is an exact match. Very good. And line that back up into place, and you really want to check it to make sure it's in the same groove so you don't get a double image. That looks pretty good. So I'm just going to do this last section here. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll line it like that. Same thing. I'm not going to have the tan mat go all the way to the end of the pattern. Okay. Pop that on, and let's hope nothing's moved. I'm going to run that through. Okay. And that should give us a continuous pattern. It did, right across the top there. You've got a really nice emboss, okay? So what I want to do is pop that onto a piece of backing here. I've got some blue dust and some black card. I'll just use a little bit of double-sided tape. We'll get that all ready to go. There we go. Put some on all 4 sides. Okay. Center that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to come back to this in a few minutes, so set that aside. Now, I've done a bit of the stamping already, just so it wouldn't take so long, but I've got a little bit more, so I'm going to bring in my black Archival ink, and I'm just going to ink up the Elemental Swirl here. And we'll put a couple more in here. I think we can probably fit 2 more in here. Give it a good push. This counter's rather high for stamping, so ink it each time. Tap your pad across the stamp like that. And 1 more. Give it a good push. There we go. Set that to the side, and I'll tell you what I want to do real quick is just clean up the little bit of ink on here. And since that's a solvent-based ink, you need to use some blending solution to take that off. There we go. Okay. And because I want to do some inking, that's why I've used a solvent-based ink. I'm going to bring in a water-based ink, and you always have to work opposite, otherwise it'll just smear. And you just make sure that that's good and dry. There we go. I've got some Stormy Sky Distress ink and a smoothie. Let me move a few bits out of the way here. So working from the edge of the page here, we're just going to go around the edge, give it a nice soft blue color all the way around the edge. There we go. You can see the smoothie just gives you a really lovely coverage with no hard edges coming from the ink. Okay, so that's all ink. So what I want to do next is cover it with a self-adhesive sticky sheet once it's good and dry. And just to remind you, you need to heat set that ink. Because anytime it's wet, you're not going to be able to cover it with anything. The sticky will just pop right off. Now I've got one I've gone ahead and done ahead of time. Trimmed it to size. So what we're going to do is peel the backing off. And let me just get this started. And I want to bring in my copy paper to put underneath it. And my Frosted Sparkle Glitterbitz. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is put the glitter around the edge on this. And since the center of it is going to be covered, we're just going to do the edges. Okay, so there's no need to waste the glitter where it's not going to be seen at all. So I'm just going to go along the edge, just making sure I get it enough in that it's going to not have any adhesive showing. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And if we have to, I think maybe just a tiny bit more right there. Okay, pop this back into the container so we don't waste it. And find my lid. There we go. So now I'm going to go back and take this piece that we did earlier, and I've got enough mounting foam that if you push on it, it's not going to stick down because you've got that exposed adhesive. That's the only thing. If you just put it around the edge, if you give a good push in the middle, then it's going to stick and you're going to have like a bowl situation there, and we don't want that. But I don't have to waste the extra glitter now. So put that right into the middle. That'll stick really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my backing piece here. I think a little bit of tape should do the trick here. I'm going to give it a black matte. Just because it carries along that same sort of continuity from the earlier piece that we matted that way. And pop that right on there. Let's see if I can get it on sort of straightish. There we go. Not too bad, but not the best. We're going to pop that into the middle of our backing card. And I've done just a white on white because I had so much going on with this one. Did my regular paper piercing around the edge. Okay, so now we've got the background all sorted. So we can work from our backwards up and get our focal element. I've done the heather dye in black on the back and a white one on front. It's just like a shadow, a little bit of mounting foam, and we're going to set that right onto the side here. And I've also done a couple of these champagne flutes. Now these are dry, but I want to show you, we've added a little bit of glossy accents, and I can just show you what we've done here. Taken the glossy accent and just gone and applied it a little bit, going around like this, and I just put on a bit, smooth it out with my finger. And you can get it just to the top if you want it, or all the way to the top if you, however you prefer. I left a little bit on the bottom on mine. There we go. And when that dries, it looks like you've got some liquid in there. Okay, so I'll show you these. And it dries just a little bit so you can see the liquid, which is really nice. Okay, I've added a little bit of mounting foam, and these both have just a tiny bit of a black shadow from the same champagne flute. So I've cut the black one and just offset it a little teeny bit on the back here. And I'm going to put them just a tiny bit up and down. In fact, I think I'm going to move that one down just a little bit more. There we go. We've got the I Do that comes with the champagne flute that I've gone ahead and cut. So I'm going to just use a little bit of spray glue. I'm going to pop that up in the corner here. Let's see if I might have to move that one a little bit. There we go. And that can go right over that. Set that like that. I've got a couple of the bows that we cut that come from the Easter egg die set. And I want to do a little teeny bit of inking with them. So I'm going to bring in the Stormy Sky that we used on the background. Just give these a tiny bit of blue color to the edges. That looks pretty good. And let's just put a little bit of glue on these and get it started to get tacky here. We'll do the other one. Probably have enough. Yeah, we do on our smoothie. We can just go ahead and add that and get a little bit on the tails. A tiny bit. There we go. That's looking good. Pop one right there. Give that a second. And put the other one down just a little bit lower. Offset that. It's looking nice. And you can even add a little pearl in the center. That's really pretty. And the last thing we've got here, we've got a bow. We're going to seat some floral elements onto our white satin bow. And I've just gone ahead and tied what I call a messy bow, just like tying shoelaces. Pop that around like that. And I've got some flowers. Now I've gone ahead, stamped a bunch of these and cut them out. So I'm going to ink the edges with the Stormy Sky, bring in that same sort of color, just all the way around. And I've just stamped them with a black Archival ink. And then what I've done is I've just gone in and cut into each one of them tiny little bit so I can roll them right in between each of those petals. There we go. So now I can just give them a little forming. You can use a ball stylus if you prefer. Pop them up like that, tiny bit. And I've done two of the smaller sizes here. So we'll add some glue and put some glue in there. I've got a pearl in the center one, and we're just going to pop that right into the middle. Center that. And I like to offset them a little bit and then put this one in place like that. We give that a second to set up. I'm going to bring in a couple of our glue dots and put these into place. So I can have a larger one up here. I can tuck that bow right under the edge there. And this little one, a couple of glue dots. Just pop that a little bit down diagonally around that and cut a couple of the leaves that come with the set as well in white. So add some glue to these, and these are really nice and light and airy, so you can just put them just about anywhere and they look really spectacular. Really like this leaf for it. Got two medium and two of the larger ones, and we're just going to put them just offset underneath those flowers. About like that and like that. There we go, and there you have it. You've got a lovely card. Like I said, you can use this for a wedding or an anniversary. I just think this is so pretty. Hope you've enjoyed today's video.